Let's take a look at set number 75283, the recently retired Armoured Assault Tank for ages 7+, with 286 pieces for $60 Australian. But this set already goes for a whopping $130 Australian on Amazon. The set comes with 4 figures, 2 specially printed droids, Ahsoka Tano, and the first ever 332nd clone. Let's take a closer look at the figures. Taking a look at the Ahsoka fig first, it has some great detail. Just nitpicking at this figure bit though, I would have liked it if one of the lightsaber blades was a little shorter, just to be more accurate with the show. And this hair piece is quite long, it goes all the way down to hips. Other than that, it's got some great detail. The printing on this figure is amazing. I think it looks really nice. Then, moving on, we get a 332nd clone, which I prefer this iteration compared to the new 332nd clone that came out in the battle pack. But I think that this set, the main reason why it went up in value so much was because of this clone, but I don't think it'll go up in value much anymore due to this new 332nd battle pack, meaning that you can get 332nd clones for a lot cheaper, which is why I don't think this set will go up in value as much. Other than that, I really love this fig. I prefer it to the new 332nd clones with the helmet holes. So overall, nice little Republic side of the build. Then taking a look at the droids, I like their printing. I think they look a lot cooler than normal battle droids. They remind me of Kashyyyk battle droids because of the green colour. They have silver blasters, nice little addition. They are just as outdated as the normal tan battle droids though. Can't sit on studs, limited posability, can't turn my head sideways or anything like that. But it's a pretty good figure selection. It's not canon at all though, it's nowhere near canon due to the fact that the 332nd only ever fought in the Battle of Mandalore, the Siege of Mandalore, and that was not with droids or AATs. Now let's get on to the build. Space for droids, this front compartment which has 2 amazing printed control panels which I think look really cool. You can just pop your fig in there, it doesn't connect down on the studs because of the outdated droid mold. Shots very cleanly. I love how it blends in with these 2 big pieces just here. I think that looks really, really amazing. Coming up to the head of the turret, there is space for a droid, which goes in, again, no stud connection. It can be pretty hard to get this fig in here. Oh, as you can see, that is kind of out a little bit. Pretty good spot for figs. I love how there's enough figs to complete the set, so there's no like extra space for more figs. That isn't symmetrical, but like you can't fix that. I tried modifying it, but you can't get that looking symmetrical. Another thing I'd like to point out in this set is although there is space for droids, there is no space for the guns. There's no way you can put them in. You can kind of stick them on here or on these side little panels here, but neither of which look great. So there's not really any space for the guns. You can kind of just put them down when you're playing with the set, but I would have liked it if there was some clips or some kind of box in this back section here to put the guns into. Nothing like that though. These parts at the side do swivel, and down the bottom you do have spring-loaded shooters which you can shoot at Ahsoka and the 332nd Trooper. You just push back down and they shoot off just like that. You get 2. They're hidden pretty well in the set. I like how that's a feature. Down the bottom you have 6 of these inverted tiles that it rolls really nicely. One thing I would like to say is I put these pieces here and here because if you look in, this won't really matter, but you can see a pink brick in there. So I like to just cover that up by putting those 2 bricks there. Moving on, this turret at the top swivels around very freely, which I don't really like. I wish it was like the AAT turret, which goes click, click, click. This just moves around freely. So if you've got it in a cool position, like it's shooting at some kind of clone AT-AT, and you got to move the ATT, this turret head will move down and across because it moves very butter smooth, which I don't really like. And this turret is also pretty inaccurate. It's not accurate to the Clone Wars show where the turret goes out to about here. This goes way further, all the way out. And whilst on the topic of accuracy, the blue markings are not accurate. There's meant to be a blue stripe running up here. There's meant to be a blue stripe running out here. There's none of that. Although these 2 pieces are stickers and they add for a good little bit of detail. Those are the only 2 stickers that come in this set. So that's about it for the build. It looks aesthetically pleasing. I like how it looks despite the inaccuracy. If you ignore that, I think it looks pretty cool. Not the best build, there are better Star Wars builds, and for $130, if you're getting this for the build, then I wouldn't recommend it. Just before I finish, I'd like to mention that there is a second Ahsoka face print, and I'd also like to highlight how nice the printing on this figure is. It's very, very detailed. Another thing I'd like to just mention is this 332nd's body and legs are exactly the same as the latest 332nd and most of the 501st troopers, besides the 501st battle pack with the specialists and heavy troopers. So that's practically it. I kind of like this build for $130, that's just outrageous. I would not pay that kind of money for the set. If you really want a 332nd, just get the battle pack that came out and is still in stock, because although this figure is nicer, it's not worth it to pay $130 just for a figure without helmet holes. Tell me what you think of this build. Tell me if you think you might buy it for $130. I'll think you're outrageous, but you can try prove it to me. And thanks for watching.